Hello and welcome to Roll for Topic. I'm Chris Salzman. Normally this is a roundtable discussion about topics related to running role-playing games, but this week we are continuing our two-part series where we played through The Ground Itself by Everest Pipkin. This is a world-building game that I really liked that as we played through it, and I think the players liked it too. I would not listen to just this one. If you are interested in The Ground Itself, go back and listen to the first one, the first episode in this like little two-parter, and then come back and listen to this one. So the players were myself, Andy Rao, Kyle Latino, and Amber Seger, and we'll have links to their various social media and stuff in the show notes. And one other note, we get the rules wrong for what you do when you draw a 10 the first couple times, I think, in this episode. We get it right for the last one, but by then we've kind of missed some good role-playing opportunities, and I apologize for that. But I did want to just note it up front, just in case you're following along with the rules and wondering what the heck we're doing. Okay, I think there's enough housekeeping for now. Please enjoy the second part of The Ground Itself. Okay, Amber, you got the third two.
Ooh. Third two is a major modification is made to the environment of our place. What is this change? Was it made by someone, or did it simply come to pass?
Okay, so remember those birds?
Mm-hmm. Who could forget the birds?
Yes, I remember them clearly.
Beautiful. I think a group of these very loyal fans of birds, seabirds, have decided in this couple weeks to erect some sort of bird sanctuary. And so I think another area is like an aviary, essentially. Yes. What is this change? Was it made by someone? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was made by these bird lovers. I don't know. And it was a pretty big undertaking. I mean, they didn't have to get any zoning permits or anything, but it was a lot of work, and a good majority of the people here love those birds.
Are they in captivity, or are they just...
No, it's like a cool bird come in, bird go. That's a check in, check out as they will. So
yeah, it's like a bird bar.
There's chicken nuggets in there and French fries for them, all the stuff that birds love. Because that's all I know.
Can there be a bird there that everybody calls Norm whenever he comes in?
Yeah. He's got an eye patch. I don't know why.
I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah. I have drawn the third four.
The third four. Something new has been constructed and stands where there was once something else. What was once there, and what has replaced it? That's an odd coincidence of a draw.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a focus situation instead, because we did just sort of do something like that. Let's leave the frame for a second. I don't know why, but this feels right. Let's go to the West Coast, where Jill's castle is. Yeah, so Jill's castle is pretty similar, but I think it's no one has seen both of them at the same time. No one has seen both of these places. So I think they're mirror images of each other, actually. But from the same the same sort of magic, the same sort of stuff is happening over here, including down to as one person enters Jill's castle, at the same time someone's entering Jack's castle. So it's totally mirrored.
Love it. Yeah. That's cool.
Andy, you got the second ace.
The second ace. Oh man. It is time to plant, quote, the seedlings, unquote. What are the seedlings, and where are they planted? What is the harvest that is hoped for? All right. What if the seedlings are a prized possession designated by each person before they go into the ziggurat, the top level? We've already established that there's lots of personal objects here. So what if your last thing you do before you going up there is you designate the object that will be planted on the island, and what we hope for is, I don't know, what would come of that? What would you imagine might come of that?
Is it like payment
Interesting.
somehow, or
Peace of mind.
yeah,
It's like I mean, it kind of reminds me of like putting the coins over your eyes for the ferryman
Yeah.
or something. It's like it's the price of passage.
I like that.
Ah.
I like the idea that this is the way the payment that you make in exchange for living here, right?
Yeah.
Or
So-
part of it.
So is the harvest like? Do they try to dig it up later, and if it's there or not, does that signify something?
Well, maybe there's something that
Like-
actually does grow out of there.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a flower or an herb or something signifies when like it is the right payment. So they're hoping for like a right color flower to bloom.
Yeah.
Maybe
a signal.
a certain color mushroom or something.
Oh,
Oh,
that
yeah.
too.
Yeah. What color is it, Andy?
A purple.
Okay. Purple mushroom. Kyle, you got a 6. Second 6.
We are all right. Let's see. Second 6. Someone returns to our place changed. Who are they, and how are they different?
Oh, I think the janitor comes back. I think the janitor comes back, and they look like they haven't slept a wink since they left.
Oh.
Okay.
I think they just kind of come in wordlessly, and just start doing their job again. I think that like they don't ask permission. They don't like get with HR and like sort out the paperwork. They just start. And even though somebody else is kind of like already like their living quarters were like reappropriated by the grounds already. I think they just kind of move in back into that room anyway, and like whoever was there has to move out and find some other deal, because it becomes clear. But they are like almost like non-responsive, catatonic, other than dutifully cleaning off all the bird poop they left derelict in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the implications of that.
Mm-hmm. All right. We have second 10
Oh.
for Amber.
I was like, fourth 9. Oh no.
No, yeah. Congrats on not drawing the 9. Let's see. So we are going to do our time advancing again. So I think we did this wrong last time, but so you're actually going to roll the d6s if you have them handy, Amber, and then you get to decide if we're going to go forward or backward. So.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, you get to roll. So the first one will be for our time span,
Okay.
and then the second one will be how many of those.
Okay, so I rolled a 4.
Okay, so 4 is. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I think it's a lot.
Yeah,
Like a decade?
decades.
Decade.
Okay, so decades, and then roll
Yes.
another d6.
1.
Okay, so we have gone, and then do you want to go forward or backward?
Let's keep going forward.
All right, so we have jumped a decade at this point. So now we need to answer the questions again. Do our characters / civilizations still live here a decade later? I'm going to let you decide this, Amber.
I think so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Nothing's changed in 10 years.
Okay, and then what does the place physically look like now? Has anything visually changed? Does it smell? How does it smell now? How does it feel here?
I think the bird fans have gotten more. So I think there's been more of that happening.
Vindication.
Yeah, I mean the birds are beautiful. What can you say? I mean honestly, since Jack's castle has stayed for like hundreds of, who knows how long, right? I think it's like 10 years, you can't really tell much of a difference as far as like the physicalness of the castle itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's going to take a little bit longer for it to erode more and to look more derelict and that. But I definitely think the inhabitants have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Some have moved on, and there are new inhabitants. And what was all the question?
That's pretty good. I guess there was one about the smell.
Oh, the smell. I think I'm gonna try to be pleasant.
Okay.
I think that somebody is loving the garden where the sundial, like, and the inhabitant came in maybe 5 years ago or something, and just it's a gardener and just has been planting tons of flowers. So it smells nice, kind of like more floral than bird.
A needed counteracting force.
Yeah.
And then the last question is: does the place still use the same name?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Still
Nice.
Jack's castle.
Still Jack's. Jack is still there too. Is he still there?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. 9. I have drawn the fourth 9.
The fourth 9. All right, this is our first fourth one, I think. New information about a past event is uncovered, casting it in a dramatically different light. What was found, and how does it change how the past is perceived? I think all these final questions are answer that describe the secrets of the setting.
Yes. Yeah. How does it change how the past is perceived?
Chris, don't make my mistake. Keep it vague.
keep it really specific. Yeah, it's like whose really great idea do I want to undo?
Oh my God, not the birds!
Not the birds. The birds have been eating people. Right?
Oh no!
It's people.
Yeah, I think I want to go back to the grandfather clock somehow because I feel like that is a really cool detail that we haven't touched on too much. I think what we find out is that Jack has been resetting the grandfather clock every night, and sort of trying to pull the strings of what's happening around in the place. So someone catches him in the act of doing this. Maybe it's the janitor, or, someone who's wandering around and confronts him about it. And I think because of that, there starts to be more arguments about exactly what's happening in this place. If the grandfather clock actually has anything to do with anything, or is it just sort of a curiosity? All those sorts of questions start getting asked a little bit more. Andy, a 6, third 6.
The third 6. Something small but noticeable is destroyed. What was it, and who or what destroyed it?
This game is intense. It's really starting to weigh on me, guys.
Yeah, this is why
I love it. I'm thriving.
Yeah.
All right. Something small but noticeable is destroyed. What if... So the key to the top room of the ziggurat is kept in a glass case that's only opened with ceremony by whoever runs this place, or the attendants, or by Jack. And what if one morning people wake up to find that the case has been shattered, but the key appears to still be in place?
Oh.
Ooh.
Huh.
Hmm.
What does it mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Feel free to modify that, however.
No, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to. I like it. I like the implication.
You don't want
of
to pull a
that.
Kyle. That's what you were going to say.
I was like, well, yeah, because I was going to use a Kyle creation to implicate something more.
Yeah.
The seabirds, what done it?
Yes, there's a feather there. No.
Okay, so Andy, you do need to answer who or what destroyed it.
Oh, I do. Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, I do have to answer that. That's okay. All right. A prominent member of that atheist faction that is still that is kind of philosophically morphed over the years, but still has its adherents. Maybe they've gotten weirder and more conspiratorial as time has gone on.
Okay.
So yeah, they find the shards of glass on his coat or something, on his boots or something like that.
It's a whole thing. There's a whole murder mystery.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was the atheists.
Yeah. Did I say atheists? That's
you
I
did
guess
say
you
that.
could say it was an open and
not
shut
the right
case.
word. A non-believer.
No.
All right, go
I
ahead.
think he broke that case wide open. I think that's what you're looking for.
That's better.
Okay.
All right, Kyle, you have the second 8.
The second 8. The news is dramatic and tensions are high. What is the news? And how is this reaction physicalized in space? I'm intrigued by the wording of that final question.
Yeah. In Spurs is what I heard it as.
I feel like the word physicalized has been used more than once in this document.
Yeah.
It's twice more than I've ever heard it in any other point in my life. So yeah.
I mean, it's a specific like request, I think, in a game like this to ask that, because it's very easy, I think. Like the same thing with using the word smell in like after the cycle and stuff. It forces you to like make a different decision, I think, than you normally would. But Kyle, I have a suggestion if you're not thinking of anything.
Hit me. What do you got?
Do something with a symphony.
Symphony? Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think oh, yes, the final note of the symphony has finally come.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
And yeah, everybody's there. Like even the townies are all there because they've grown up. Like some people cannot remember a time when this symphony hasn't been like going, and like nobody cares about it, but everybody's heard about it. So when this is finally going to kind of be made manifest, it's a big deal. So there's kind of a to-do. There's like an open mic to kind of like, you know, to warm up the crowd and everything. And there's food. And there's camaraderie, there's banners and everything. And then the time has come, and all the lights in the castle go down, and everybody is only lit. The evening is only lit by candles, and the musician that was drawn by lots comes out with a stand-up bass case, and sets it down before them, gingerly opens it up in front of the sundial, and pulls out a sledgehammer and crushes the sundial, and the whole thing just like snaps in half and caves in on itself. People in the front row are dodging like bits of marble. There's anger, there's shouting. No one can believe it, but the musician, such as they call themselves, won't say a word about what they actually read on the score.
Wow.
And scene.
That's very good.
That is good.
All right, Amber, you have the second 7.
The second 7 is dialing it back a little bit, actually. Invent a specific street, building, corner, overlook, or meeting place. What is it called officially, and what do the locals call it?
The naming. The things. Jack's Corner.
Yeah.
Oh,
7
man.
something.
I think I like a meeting place. I like. Gotta think about this one. No, so let me go look at the. You know, I keep forgetting about that focused.
Yeah, the focused ones. Those are some fun stuff.
Yeah, because this is something that's not. I'm not. This is new to this game. That's very unique, and I like this.
Yeah, so you can tell a story, throw a party, discover something, see an omen, leave the frame, or just move on.
I'm gonna go against my nature and throw a party.
Yeah.
I like the party. So I think there is. What was the answer? How did people feel about the sundial being smashed?
Reviews were mixed, to say the least.
Oh, okay, reviews. Okay. I think, like in most organizations that I'm familiar with, eventually there comes a group that are party planners.
Mm-hmm.
And they are now going to be throwing a party to test out to see who the new musical entertainment will be for this place. So they've hired lots of different bands to try out and see. So there's this huge gala that's going to be happening, all about centered around finding a new talent.
Okay. All right. So now we need to each pick sort of a character, and we're going to role play a little bit of that party. We're going to. Yes.
I did not know that was part of throwing a party, but what a delight! Okay.
Yeah. So at the Battle of the Bands at Jack's Castle, why don't everybody pick a character, and we'll kind of go around, and everybody let's steal from the Quiet Year here. So Quiet Year has this concept called discussions, where everybody's sort of like one statement. So why don't we each take a turn and say something that like our character would have said at the party.
Or okay? Maybe it could be a pitch for a musical act.
Yeah, that sounds good too. I'll start. How about that? Get us going. Well, I mean, I think it's clear. We should just play it again.
I, with this solid gold revolver, will shoot a bird out of the air on noon every Sunday.
Okay.
While everybody else is distracted with the party, we can get back into the storeroom and smuggle out a bunch of the mushrooms. A bunch of the mushrooms that are not supposed to leave the premises.
Oh my god. I'm paralyzed. I didn't know I was going to have to come up with a sentence with this choice, but here I am. No, that's not my line. I think I don't know why we're doing this. It's like I'm not going to be here for much longer anyway.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. You want to go around again? I mean, it's a party. I think none of us are really like go party. Go parties.
That was a good party.
That was a good party.
There was gunfire talked about. There was a heist planned, and there was someone who just really wanted it to be over. So it sounds like about every party I've been to.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, yeah, that was a perfect distillation of a party. Good job, everybody. All right, I have drawn the third 8.
The third 8 is someone or a group of people comes to our place. Did we? No, this is new. Who are they, and why have they come? Do they bring anything with them?
Decade has gone past.
Mm-hmm.
There is a group from Jill's Castle. Can I bring that in?
I was gonna suggest it. I'm so glad you got there.
They are dragging they're like, it looks like they've walked the entire distance.
Yes!
Yeah, they're haggard. They don't have any shoes at this point. They're also very old, right? These are like people in their 80s and stuff that have made this huge long journey across the continent to get here. And the only thing that they have left when they get there is, Kyle is cheering me on right now, is a grandfather clock.
Oh! Duck the landing. The only thing you could have said that would have been better than that is a World War I biplane that they rolled all the way across the continental U.S.
Oh my God.
And that's just because it's like a scene from Kentucky Route Zero. That's just the grandfather clock. Ooh, do people call it the grandmother clock? Ooh. So many questions.
Yeah. I mean, they probably do. Right?
By the way, is this how like the creators of Lost like plotted out the show? Like,
it truly feels like it.
Yeah. I don't care what you say. That green bird said Hurley.
Yeah. I think that's exactly how they plotted out, but they failed to like go back and edit any of their ideas afterwards. All right, Andy, you got the 6. This is the fourth 6.
The fourth 6. All right, let's see what this is. Ooh, a natural or architectural disaster strikes with no warning, leaving something in ruins. What was this disaster? Uh, let's see. We're on the coast, so a freak storm hit and it destroyed the top floor of the structure.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
It
Were
wiped
there
it
people
clean
on it?
off, and leaving the floors below strangely untouched.
Whoa.
Were there people up there?
Someone had gone in, and they had not yet gone. They usually wait like a ritual day before they go in,
Mm-hmm.
pronounce that the person has moved on, and open it to the next person, maybe. But we don't know.
So wait, so the whole dang ziggurat is gone now?
The top floor of the ziggurat was destroyed.
Whoa,
The one,
okay.
the one that people,
Oh.
their
The important
ultimate
one.
goal is to get into.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Everybody should be okay with that.
This is what happens when you sledgehammer the sum dial. You put the hammer down and stuff happens.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
telling
I
you,
feel-
we play
I
it again.
figure-
It's no problem.
We're in the
I don't want to
fourth-
be here.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh.
10.
Is this
Kyle.
me?
Yes, you've drawn
Ooh.
the third 10.
Oh, hey, all right.
All right. You need to. Do you have d6s there? You need to roll d6 to see our time frame that we'll be working with.
It's a 4 again.
Okay. So decades, and then roll again.
4.
Ooh. So 40 years have passed. Okay. That's a good chunk of time.
I gotta know what happens 40 years after the ziggurat's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So do our characters' civilizations still live here? A lot happened that last time.
Yeah, I was
Enough
gonna
that
say,
maybe some people might be wondering about.
so just a point of order. Is this the final time period?
Yes, this will be the final time period. So the next 10 that we draw will be the end of the game. And
Okay.
I think there's some wrap up.
I think I think a lot of the residents have given up hope. I think there's like they had enough money to repair stuff, but there's like a quarter of the population that used to be there, and the grounds aren't kept up well, and there's no line anymore. And also, like, old Jack disappeared the same night as that storm,
Oh.
and nobody knows for sure what happened to him. That's
Is it still functioning? Like, are they still processing people through it somehow?
yeah, but everybody. Ooh,
Yeah.
I think. Oh, okay. Let me know if this one's too heavy. I think people just die now. I think they move there, and then they just die like regular people now. Like there's no place to translate. It's still got some pretty nice. No, the seabird population has definitely dwindled.
Yes, yes, it has.
I think a lot of that stuff. I'm just going to keep going, guys. The salts have been worn away by the sea.
I want there to
And
still
the
be
seabird population has reduced, and the mushrooms are also like they're still here and there, but you really gotta go sniffing for them.
Mhm.
So they have this grand aviary, but there's not much to show for it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Can I say
Now it's
something?
just a regular old folks home.
Can I say something that we can decide if we want to go with or not?
Yeah.
Is the castle translating? Like the castle itself?
Ooh, dang! I love that idea.
It could be. I like
Okay.
that idea. I like that
Okay.
idea. But I don't want to. I don't want to say it.
Okay.
I'm into it.
All right, well, let's
It's
think
a
about it, 'cause-
rumor.
yeah.
The only thing that seems to be truly thriving is the grandmother clock. That thing, it just seems to tick louder. Like you can hear it almost anywhere in the building.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right. Let's finish our questions because we'll kind of keep going. Okay. So, what does the place physically look like? I think you've answered that. Any smells? Anything else that you want to mention that feels different?
It smells like cleaning fluid now.
Okay. And does it use the same name?
I think people just call it the castle now that Jack's gone.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Like it. Okay, Amber, you got a 4, the fourth 4.
4-4.
The fourth 4 is a creative or artistic achievement is unveiled. What is it? How is it received?
Much welcomed.
An artistic achievement is unveiled. What is it? How is it received? Oh my god, my brain. Yeah, go ahead. No.
I was going to
already
say,
okay.
anytime I've ever talked about the fine arts and somebody said, well, I should just do this, whatever comes out of their mouth next is the coolest thing to ever happen in the fine arts. So just try to do a parody of the fine arts and you'll get there.
Well, I mean, I always have stuff rattling around my head. It's just a matter of me being able to I can't even talk right. Articulate it.
Or you can also do one of those focused scenes if you're stuck.
Yeah, I like the idea of this one though. I want to answer it. That's the problem. I think the few people who are here now, I think there's still a group of people who are optimistic. Like somehow the place itself, like there's not really a ritual or whatever. The ziggurat didn't really matter. I think they're hanging on to it. So the artistic achievement I'm trying to figure out is if somebody is taking the time to like take pieces and parts of like broken glass and stuff that was left over from the storm and kind of making a stained glass window somewhere in this place, kind of depicting what they feel is the translation itself.
It's so good.
What if like just to give it some physicality, right? Like what if so where the ziggurat was like
physicalize it, Chris.
Yeah, physicalize it. Like where the ziggurat was ripped off.
Yeah.
Like they just sort of boarded up like the top of the stairwell, they just sort of boarded it up. And so that stained glass they replaced the boards at the top of this giant stairwell. And so at the certain point of the day, like it just streams straight down.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So cool. And I think how is it received? I think it's actually received really well. I want to put some optimism back into this a little bit because just seeing it up there, I think, and this beautiful piece of art amongst all this destruction, and like a lot of people are very nervous about, just dying now. So I think there's a tingle of hope throughout people.
Art will save us. I like it. 7. I got the third 7.
The third 7 is a forgotten aspect to our place is recovered. What is it? A corner, a basement, a hidden garden?
I'm going to do a focus thing that doesn't really strike my fancy right now. Let me find those again.
Chris is like, I just want to play Calvin ball, actually. I'll just be over here.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just going to keep throwing parties.
I want to go to the boomerang zone, actually.
Yeah. Let's discover something. I think someone in line brings a story of finding a structure sort of like in the middle of the woods on their way into like up in the north, like 20 miles or so away. And as they're describing it, one of the old timers just like gets this curious look and starts to sketch out what they're doing, what they're describing. And when they finish, they realize that it's the ziggurat in like complete ziggurat.
What?
Like 20 miles away.
That is
Yes!
such a good episode 1, season 4 opener.
Yes.
Like,
That's so good. I love it.
All right. Andy, ace, third ace.
The third ace.
You do not have very many cards left, so one of these is a 10.
Yep. All right, this is a follow-up from a much earlier one. The harvest day has arrived. What is being harvested, for what purpose, and how is it being stored?
This was the hoped purple mushrooms.
Yes. All right, I'm drawing a bit of a blank. Does anyone want to toss out like an aspect or something of the setting that I can try riffing off?
Let me lead you through this. Does the harvest happen?
The harvest? I think it does. I think it unexpectedly happens because people have stopped looking for it. Maybe even.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
I think the line comes back.
Oh.
I think people are like whatever it is. It's like that people are super interested in the stained glass. Now that maybe word has spread about the discovery of this perfectly intact structural element, and people are trying to get in and figure out what's going on again.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, let's say there's signs of life. I mean, the harvest with the discovery of that ziggurat, it looks like maybe the place might be coming back or in some way. So it's a vibrant harvest, and it's accompanied by return of the line and renewed enthusiasm.
That's great. All right. We have a 5 for Kyle.
All right, which 5 is this?
This is the third 5.
Okay, this is an interesting one. There is a union. Is it political, emotional, marital? What is newly aligned?
I think a private school starts operating out of the castle. I think it's a weird old castle, but there's all these birds. It's this beautiful, curious old building. So yeah, I think it turns into like this academy for like middle schoolers or something, like a kind of like a boarding school, I guess, something like that. But they also like part of their community service is like taking care of the old folks and you know cleaning up all the bird poop and stuff like that. But also like hunting for these mushrooms. Like there is this youthful energy that is imbibed into this place, and that I think that is the union that takes place here.
That's great.
It takes a village, you know.
It does. All right. Oh, we got our last 10.
10.
Amber.
Yep.
Okay. So I have just discovered that we were doing 10s a little bit wrong. So
whoops.
That's
I didn't
great.
want to say.
The last one. Well, you should have said. So now I'm gonna have to do a disclaimer at the beginning of the podcast. It's not terribly wrong. There's just an extra.
I didn't
question.
figure it out until the second time.
Yeah. There's just an extra question that you get to answer about this. So this is the last 10. So this is going to be sort of the conclusion of our story here. But you get to
have
pick.
to explain every little mystery we've created.
Oh, no. All right. I'm ready. Strap it.
Yeah, strap it. You got
Get the yarn out.
Yeah. Okay, so when you draw a 10 normally, right? Like there's actually a number of questions that you get to pick from, and so you can pick from the whole list here. So I don't know if you have the PDF up or not, but it's on page 23. It has a list of those questions.
Oh, there's lots of them.
Yeah. There's lots of them, and all these would have been really great to answer. But I think we still had.
I get to choose one right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. There's 5 or 6 of them. So
Yeah, I'll just pick
them.
one. I'm kind of reading through them right now.
Yeah.
These are hard.
Yes.
I like resting day because I'm close to my bedtime, so I'm going to pick one of the resting day ones.
Good. Yeah.
It is a resting day in the knowledge of a secure future. What is taken as a given, and how do the inhabitants of our place spend a lazy day? What is taken as a given? So, like, what is a given?
Mm-hmm.
I think that union of the school plus this place makes people feel very secure in, like, yeah, we have the youth here helping us, and it's giving people a lot of energy and excitement, and like more engaged with the last years of their life. And so I think, how do the inhabitants of our place spend a lazy day? Man, it's a retirement home.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally know I'd be knitting.
Yeah.
And maybe just like, we haven't really talked about like what the weather's like here in all of this. I think it's it's a nice sunny day. They're out in the gardens. They're getting some vitamin D, and just taking naps. That's what I want. That's what I want at the end of my life.
Yeah.
Lots of naps and sunny D.
Oh, sweet Sunny D.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that's. I'm done. I've answered the question.
I like that. Okay, and then the last thing that we do is we roll the dice one more time. Roll the die one more time, and we're gonna, move around, and then we'll kind of answer our last questions about the place. Okay. So if you want to roll your d6.
Okay. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
That's decades, and then I rolled again, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 6. So 60 years. 60 years pass.
Okay, so 60 years have passed since the school was started and all that. So yeah, let's answer those questions one last time. So do our characters, does our civilization still live here?
Well, I definitely think so, but maybe not
yes,
the same configuration as we left it.
Mm-hmm. Does so we set up some stuff to like have the transitions still happening, to maybe start happening again. Or does it become more of like a boarding school that happens to have a few old folks around, or is it still Jack's Castle just without stuff?
I mean, I think that it probably transitions into becoming more just like a boarding school, and that maybe if we go out of frame, we see where the ziggurat is, where stuff is happening around there again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What does the place physically look like now? Has anything visually changed? How does it smell now? How does it feel here? I think it naturally will have to get reconfigured a little bit if they're holding classes and having middle schoolers and stuff around instead.
I wonder if it's been kind of modernized, but in a way that in building the school and setting up those classrooms, they've worked within the architecture of the existing structure. But, if you walk around and have a long memory, you can see that, the interiors are fully modernized now, even if the exteriors still have that kind of streaked limestone. And maybe the limestone has been carefully kind of preserved or frozen, so if you know what you're looking for, you can see that it's whatever, they've put reinforcing materials in there and tried to make it blend into the original, so it still has its original look.
Oh, that's cool.
It smells of pencil shavings and hairspray now.
Okay, so the last time we named this place, it had transitioned to the castle. Is it still called the castle? Or is it something else?
I would love to go to school at the castle.
Yeah, I think so too. I think probably the official name becomes at some point the castle for young boys and girls.
Yeah.
to learn how to be educated, but everybody just calls it the castle. Okay.
Is that what they come here for? To learn how to be educated?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think like they do. They get educated, but then there's also this like undercurrent of like old people there too, like transitioning, right? So like every once in a while, someone just sort of like leaves and wanders off into the forest. You never see them again.
The ziggurat calls.
Yeah, the ziggurat calls. Yeah. All right, so that was the fourth card.
And the ziggurat calls for all of us, dear listener.
Yes. Make sure to pay attention when the ziggurat calls. That is the end of the ground itself. Thank you so much for playing. This was really lovely. I like this a lot. Yeah, I think we got a couple minutes. We want to wrap up, I think, before it gets too late. But let's just chat a little bit. I think all of us run games in some fashion. So I'm curious, just like, what are your initial thoughts? Did you like this? Do you think you want to play again?
Yeah, I do run games. I've run The Quiet Year before. It's one of my favorite games to actually play with people, especially because depending on the mood of the group or a person who's taking a lead or whatever, you get wildly different things every time, and it's always fun. We made a dungeon. Like we literally just made a dungeon this game. So and so for a GM like wanting to start a campaign, I think I will forever use some sort of world building game to start off with my players to establish stuff, or even just using the prompts in here as a way to help me generate, my own stuff.
Yeah, it's really like I do like how each of the numbers sort of builds on each other too, and like walks you through like a sequence of events on how things can escalate from a simple idea.
I'm impressed with just the way those questions are all ordered, because it starts out kind of slow and descriptive, but by the time it starts asking those questions about stuff that happens, you have laid all the groundwork, and it doesn't seem that hard for stuff to happen in this place, right? Because all of those answers to those previous questions have just kind of set the stage really well. So I was kind of impressed. Speaking as someone who mostly GMs, very regular RPGs, Dungeons and Dragons type stuff, there's always something scary. This not scary is overstating it, but it's a little nerve-wracking with the pressure to be creative, and the excitement, but nervousness about the fact that the whole timbre of the thing can shift with one person's answer. And like when Chris, you brought the ziggurat back, the story took a real noted shift in like a positive direction after being grim and apocalyptic for a while, and it's just interesting.
I think it's really interesting to compare it to The Quiet Year. So there's no like map making or note taking that is mandatory, which is I think really interesting and actually makes this game a lot more accessible. Because I think a lot of people really are very self-conscious about their drawing skills. And but also, I don't want to talk about The Quiet Year too much because we're talking about this game.
Yeah.
But also like there's no real direct focus, right? So The Quiet Year is like the year before the Frost Giants come back or something like that. You have a stated goal, but the ability to just like jump back, 6 millennia.
Yes, that was an option.
on any 10 is that's pretty daunting, but also just kind of just like, let's just kind of get around and chew the fat. So it's casual but less focused, and I don't know if I like it or I don't, but I did notice it. Yeah. It worried me from the beginning. I'll say that, but it ended up all we rolled was 4s, and it ended up being fine.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because I was going to say, for me, a lot of the stuff that I'm specifically drawn to in games and things I like to run is environment as storytelling. So like what people can discover, what things are left behind. And so for me, even like the jumping to a millennia is very fun because a lot of it is just like, what could it be? And I mean, I'm the kind of person who also likes to walk around antique malls and just like look at stuff and be like, what? Who owned this? Why did they have a bag of wooden ducks? Where did this come from? Like, that kind of stuff is really intriguing to me. And I like this game a lot for that because it's specifically about environment and not like what Kyle said about The Quiet Year, which is more very community based and in a course of 1 year.
Mm-hmm. I wish we had rolled the millennia because, like, I don't know if the answer we would have come up with is, well, Jack's Castle is gone, or if it would have been, it's still there, and like everything is exactly the same. Like, so to me, it's like, that is just like really fascinating. Like, I want to play and try to roll that sometime, or even just like going backwards in time too, like having that be an option. It's just like, So, you listener can't see this, but at the beginning of it, Kyle started writing down some of the stuff that we were saying in a document, and we very quickly just sort of like stopped referring back to that. So you get to the end of it, and all we have really is the things that we've agreed upon. Like, I don't know if listening back to this, if you're like, if there were 10 ideas that we all forgot about because we were focused on something else like that. But there's something that's like really, I think the game feeds into that quite well. Like, it's okay, like, because the place, you're not going to remember everything about the place. Like, no one's going to remember everything about the place. So it's okay to forget too.
Oh yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
It's because it's not about planning projects. It is more about like the impressions that you take away from a place. Mm-hmm. And if it's not memorable, it's not memorable. It's like I think that's the freedom for things to be forgotten is a really beautiful thing in this game.
All right, well, let's wrap it up there. This was really fantastic. I know I'll be playing this game again with other groups, I think, into the future. But yeah, Kyle, Amber, thank you so much for coming on. I super appreciate it. This was awesome. Yeah.
Thank you. I had a really good time. If the cry laughing wasn't an indication. This was great. I just thank you for coming on to a brand new podcast and diving into something like this too. So
I just think it's really important that we protect our local seabird populations. They're so precious.
Right, I was not laughing at you. I was laughing at the pure joyous nature of the whole situation. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to do our quick sign off. But again, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to this as well. Please reach out if you have any commentary or questions or just thoughts and comments. We love hearing from you. So I've been Chris Salzman.
I've been Andy Rao.
And remember, if your players are having fun, you're a great GM.
Do 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 do.